Yesterday, after discussing the tanker explosion that happened in Felele at Kogi State, late yesterday evening, another explosion rocked Lagos State, Iju-Ishaga, which was caused by a gas explosion resulting from an accident involving a truck conveying gasoline. Now, the question is, when will all this stop? Joining us on the show now is the Director General, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Femi, Oke-Osanyitolu.
So we've been hearing when such incidents happen, we hear that we are putting measures in place. It's sounding now like a broken record because that's the narrative that we hear all the time. And I believe that this accident could have been avoided. Yeah. So what are some of the checks that you're going to put in place going forward?
Well, firstly, we must ensure that anything that we are doing, we put safety first. In as much that the government has put rules and regulations in place for our safety, we must abide with the rules and regulations of these safety measures.
Why we understand that accidents happen, things like this would happen, but what are the safety measures to put in place to sort of, lessen the impact of incidents like this?
Firstly, I would like to talk about the kind of tank trucks that we have out there. So the tank trucks that we have are pretty much very outdated. They need to be upgraded. Firstly, we're talking about safety valve, pressure safety valves. So you see many a times when you have this impact, if you do not have a form or way of relieving the pressure, then you get the full impact. Now you're talking about sensors also. So you're talking about overloading sensors. So when you're loading, you have your level indicators also. What does your level indicator tell you? What about the training of these tank truck drivers? The training also, that also plays a key role. So when you are talking about impact, knowing what and what not to do, and also the people in the sense that if I ask you guys a question and say, hey, if this truck is driving past you, do you know what the actual content is? Do you know what it is? Our trucks are meant to have safety symbols. These safety symbols will indicate that, hey, what is in this truck might pose a health risk, might pose a fire risk, might pose a huge explosion risk. You don't have that information. You don't even know. You don't even know if it's a carcinogenic material that is being transported. So if these tank trucks are upgraded, because the tank trucks that are out there, they are over 30 years. That is amazing. If these tank trucks are upgraded and we have tank drivers that are properly trained, I think that you have less impact compared to what we are seeing today.
We have our correspondent, Theophilus Alama, at the venue of this incident to give us an update. Theophilus, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Theophilus, tell us, so right now, what's the update for us?
From what we have seen on ground, it's a devastating damage. Now looking behind me, this is actually a block factory here. But you see the damage, the extent of damage is beyond here. It's quite humongous. Of course, it extends towards the other part where there's a market as well and extends further. And of course, we hear, but we've not confirmed, we hear that one person has been has died because as at yesterday, a lot of people were injured and were taken to two hospitals. That's the Fako General Hospital and one other hospital on towards the Ajuan axis. But at this point, we hear that one person has been confirmed dead, and of course we also hear that this explosion went too far because a tanker was standing right at this point where we are, and it of course had a leak which caused the explosion. So I would like to talk to someone an eyewitness who was here, and of course tell us what happened in this place yesterday.
At exactly 3 p.m. I was standing very close when it happened. But all of a sudden, we tried our best to let people know that this thing is going to explode, was going to explode. So, first explosion, they went afar. Second explosion, third explosion, people were very close. But all of a sudden, That was the large. There's a very big difference between when you are watching films and when you see it live and direct.
Yeah.
For a tanker to explode at that very instant was very unfortunate. So somewhere along the line, when it happened, we went around trying as much as possible to help everybody we know we can help. Some are still in the hospitals, but let us thank God that everything is all right now.
Well, we hear that one person has been confirmed. Is that true?
True, yeah, because that person was the whole body was off when we saw him. Rather, an unfortunate incident.